In this chilling CCTV footage, we witness a group of Egyptians surrounding a beautiful Polish woman named Magdalena Żuk. In a desperate attempt to escape, she breaks free, her behavior appearing erratic, almost as if she has lost her mind. This young woman arrived in Egypt alone for what was supposed to be a relaxing vacation, but her trip quickly spiraled into a nightmare. What unfolded during her stay was so horrific that it ultimately led to her tragic death when, just hours later, she fell from a hotel window. The question looms large. What happened to the vibrant young Polish woman at the Egyptian resort? This tragic story took place at the 4-star Three Corners Equinox Beach Resort in Abu Dhabi, a destination that typically attracts tourists seeking sun and adventure. A night at this hotel costs around $100, an affordable price compared to other nearby accommodations. As a result, it has become a popular choice for tourists from Russia and Poland who enjoy the short flight and the promise of warm weather and the stunning Red Sea teeming with marine life. Despite its allure, Egypt carries a dark reputation. It's no secret that tourists can sometimes fall victim to crime, including kidnapping. For this reason, venturing outside the hotel without a guide can be particularly dangerous, especially for women. Reflecting on my own experience vacationing in the Egyptian city of Hurghada, I felt an unsettling sense of insecurity. The local men exhibited a peculiar mentality, often directing their attention toward European women. They would flirt incessantly, make ambiguous comments, and call me names like Natasha, Nefertiti, and even Shakira, despite my being accompanied by a male partner. It's alarming to imagine how they might behave toward a young woman traveling alone, particularly someone as striking as Magdalena. Magdalena Żuk arrived from Poland in 2017, planning to spend just 1 week at an all-inclusive hotel. Tragically, she never returned home. Instead, her lifeless body was sent back to Poland for burial. What was meant to be a vacation turned into a harrowing ordeal. From the moment she arrived at the resort, strange occurrences began to unfold. Hotel staff and fellow guests noticed her increasingly erratic behavior. The 27-year-old woman would oscillate between quietude and wild bursts of energy, running around and dancing. At times, she would lie on the lobby floor, curling up in a ball. Initially, the staff assumed she was simply intoxicated, a common issue among tourists taking advantage of the all-inclusive alcohol offerings. They believed her odd behavior would soon pass. However, her condition only deteriorated. Concerned for her well-being, her travel agent, Mahmoud Carey, felt a sense of responsibility for her plight. In Egypt, each tourist is assigned a hotel guide to assist with various issues, from booking excursions to seeking medical help. Mahmoud, who spoke Polish, even reached out to Magdalena's parents to inform them of the situation. So, who exactly was Magdalena Żuk? She an ordinary Polish girl from a modest family, cherished by her mother and father, and engaged to be married. Growing up in the small town of Bogatynia, which had a population of only about 15,000, she later moved to the larger city of Zgorzelec when she turned 17, seeking better educational and career opportunities. Magdalena was strikingly beautiful, tall, blonde, and with captivating blue eyes. It's no surprise that she aspired to become a model. However, when her modeling career did not take off, she pivoted to cosmetology, opening her own beauty salon and training as a nutritionist. She was dedicated to self-care, regularly going to the gym, maintaining manicures, and styling her hair. Her beauty and charm made her popular among men, and she dreamed of finding true love and starting a family. One fateful night, Magdalena attended a concert where she met a handsome man named Marcus. Their connection was immediate, and within just 2 weeks, they were living together. A few months later, they decided to take the next step and get married. Their whirlwind romance progressed rapidly, and Magdalena, eager to surprise Marcus for his birthday, decided to treat him to a romantic week in Egypt. However, complications arose when she discovered that Marcus's passport was set to expire in 4 months. To travel to Egypt, a passport must be valid for at least 6 months. Devastated, Magdalena realized that the non-refundable tour meant she would lose the money she had worked so hard to save. They reached out to friends, hoping someone would take Marcus's place, but everyone declined. Reluctantly, Marcus suggested that she go alone, reminding her that she deserved a break after her hard work. Though hesitant to travel without him, Magdalena agreed. At the airport, she appeared visibly upset, even shedding tears on Marcus's shoulder as he bid her farewell. On the flight, she met another woman who was also traveling alone to the same hotel. They quickly bonded, sharing drinks and laughter, which seemed to lift Magdalena's spirits. Upon arriving at the resort, the two women continued to enjoy each other's company, indulging in the all-inclusive offerings and drinking heavily. But soon, Magdalena began to behave strangely. She started running around the hotel, pestering the people around her. Her eyes appeared wild, and she began to utter strange phrases that left those around her feeling uneasy. Her friend, who initially spent time with her, soon distanced herself due to Magdalena's increasingly inappropriate and erratic behavior. As night fell, Magdalena called her fiancé, Marcus, in a panic. She claimed to hear unsettling noises in her hotel room, her voice trembling with fear. Terrified, she insisted that someone had sneaked into her space. Concerned for her safety, Marcus contacted the hotel reception, requesting that they check on her room. The hotel staff conducted an inspection, but found nothing amiss. However, Magdalena's behavior continued to alarm both tourists and hotel staff alike. She became aggressive, her actions increasingly erratic, raising serious concerns about her mental state. Mahmoud, the hotel guide, tried to calm her down, but his efforts proved futile. Recognizing the severity of the situation, he reached out to her relatives to inform them of her bizarre behavior. This was particularly alarming, as Magdalena had never exhibited such episodes before. She had no history of mental health issues and had never sought treatment from a psychiatrist. Mahmoud urged her family to come and pick her up, but both Marcus and Magdalena's parents faced obstacles. Marcus was unable to secure a new passport in time, and Magdalena's parents did not possess valid international passports either. Meanwhile, Magdalena's condition deteriorated further. She was discovered lying on the floor in the doorway of her hotel room, kneeling with her head pressed against the ground, her hands covering her face in silence. After a short while, she began to convulse, leaving everyone around her bewildered. The hotel staff decided to put her back in her room, where she lay on the bed clad only in a robe, tears streaming down her face. Her condition appeared grave, and she was unable to articulate what was happening to her. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Mahmoud had no choice but to call for an ambulance. Once at the hospital, Magdalena was examined, but the facility lacked a psychiatrist. Additionally, she refused to undergo any tests. Consequently, she was returned to the hotel, where her parents and Marcus were trying desperately to contact the Polish embassy and the travel agency. They managed to purchase return tickets and arranged for Magdalena to be taken to the airport. However, the night before her flight, Magdalena climbed to the hotel's roof, potentially contemplating something terrible. The hotel staff intervened, bringing her back to her room. The next day, as she was being transported to the airport, Magdalena exhibited aggressive behavior in the car. She screamed loudly and attempted to remove her clothing, drawing the attention of those around her. At the airport, her outbursts continued, and her erratic behavior raised alarms. The airport administration could not allow her to board a flight in such a state, and the police demanded that she be returned to the hotel. Yet the hotel was reluctant to take her back, fearing further complications. Mahmoud was at a loss for what to do and called Marcus for assistance. In a desperate attempt to reach her, Marcus engaged in a video call with Magdalena that lasted about 25 minutes. This call, which has since leaked online, captured Marcus trying to soothe her, asking what had happened. Magdalena's responses were disjointed and incoherent. "I will not return from here. They have all sorts of tricks here. Take me away from here, please. I can't talk. Sorry. It's useless." After their conversation ends, Magda appears to disconnect from reality. She slumps limply in the car seat, unresponsive to her surroundings. Mood, realizing the gravity of the situation, takes her back to the hospital. She sleeps for several hours, but when she awakens, she is once again aggressive, screaming and trying to escape. Several hospital employees capture her in the corridor, and despite their efforts to calm her, she resists violently. The doctor ultimately administers sedatives and restrains her to the bed. For about 2 hours, Magda lies motionless, but then she begins to stir. The subsequent events are known only through the accounts of hospital staff. They report that Magda somehow broke free from her restraints, though it remains unclear how this occurred. Whether she did it herself or requested to go to the restroom, leading a nurse to untie her, is unknown. In a moment of desperation, Magda attacks the staff and leaps onto the bedside table next to the window on the second floor. Tragically, she falls from the window onto the concrete below. Although she is still alive, the impact is severe. Doctors rush to her aid, attempting to stabilize her before transferring her to another hospital in Herat, as the initial facility lacks the necessary equipment to treat her critical injuries. During this time, a friend of Marcus arrives in Egypt, intending to assist Magda in returning home. However, he is met with the devastating news that she has fallen from a window and is in critical condition. The medical team places her in a medically induced coma to manage her extensive injuries. Marcus's friend coordinates with the hospital to arrange for Magda's transport back to Poland for surgery. Her family agrees to this decision, hoping for a miracle. However, just as plans are being finalized, Magda's condition takes a sudden turn for the worse, and she tragically passes away in the hospital. The official cause of death is attributed to the injuries sustained from the fall, but the circumstances surrounding her demise spark widespread media attention in Poland. In 2017, the incident becomes a topic of national discussion, with various media outlets speculating on the reasons behind Magdalena Żuk's untimely death at the Egyptian resort. In the months following her death, Polish prosecutors conduct extensive investigations, questioning over 200 witnesses, including family, friends, former partners, and fellow tourists who were at the hotel during her stay. They meticulously examine Magda's phone, laptop, and luggage, as well as the electronic devices belonging to Marcus, seeking any clues that might explain her behavior and tragic end. Psychologists analyze her actions in Egypt, drawing insights from witness testimonies and surveillance footage from the hospital. However, the Polish investigators face significant challenges, as the Egyptian authorities do not provide crucial evidence, including interrogation protocols of local witnesses and original surveillance recordings. As the investigation unfolds, several theories emerge regarding the cause of Magda's strange behavior and her eventual death. The most prevalent theory suggests that she may have suffered from a mental disorder, as her behavior had been unusual even before her trip to Egypt. However, the lack of concrete evidence leaves many questions unanswered, and the mystery surrounding Magdalena Żuk's tragic fate continues to haunt those who knew her and the public at large. She made impulsive decisions. For instance, she agreed to become engaged to a man she had known for only 2 months. Soon after, she decided to surprise him with a trip to Egypt. Such rapid developments in their relationship raise questions about its stability and health. In typical, healthy relationships, couples take the time to get to know each other thoroughly before making lifelong commitments. They consult one another before planning vacations, especially to foreign countries. Magda's spontaneous choices may suggest she was experiencing a manic episode. Alone in a foreign resort and consuming strong alcoholic drinks, she could have spiraled into a state of complete disarray. Tragically, the lack of timely psychiatric intervention may have led her to take drastic actions against herself. However, her family vehemently denies that she had any mental health issues, insisting she had never sought help from a psychiatrist and had always seemed well-adjusted. They believe someone must have administered strong substances to Magdalena, which could explain her erratic behavior. Indeed, toxicology reports revealed that she had a powerful antipsychotic drug in her system. Medications typically used to treat psychosis, bipolar disorder, and severe depression. However, it is likely that this medication was administered after she arrived at the hospital. Additionally, an Egyptian toxicology report indicated the presence of a prohibited substance in Magdalena's blood, derived from local leaves. In Arab countries, this substance is often used as a substitute for alcohol. In Poland, however, possession of this plant is illegal. Magdalena's family is convinced that her bizarre behavior in the hospital was a direct result of being under the influence of this substance. Another theory posits that someone may have spiked Magdalena's drink with illegal drugs, intending to either rape her or sell her into slavery. It is well known that single women traveling in Egypt can be vulnerable to such heinous crimes. Reports have surfaced of foreign tourists being kidnapped by Bedouins on the Sinai Peninsula, with ransom demands or worse outcomes, such as being sold into slavery or for organ trafficking. The dangers extend beyond tourists. Local women also face harassment, with over 99% reporting experiences of unwanted attention from men. Given this context, it is not surprising that a beautiful Polish woman like Magdalena, vacationing alone and consuming alcohol, could have easily become a target for malicious individuals. It is possible that she was drugged with illegal substances, leading to her erratic behavior. When things did not go according to plan, her attackers may have chosen to abandon her rather than face the consequences of their actions. There is a chilling possibility that they inflicted harm upon her while she was incapacitated, leading to her mental breakdown and suicidal thoughts. Witnesses described Magda as acting as if she were trying to escape from something terrible, as if she had experienced an unspeakable trauma that stripped her will to live. The autopsy results revealed that at the time of her death, the only injuries she sustained were from the fall. However, it is conceivable that she could have been assaulted while unconscious, leaving no physical evidence behind. Adding to the mystery is the delay in Egypt's provision of crucial evidence to Polish authorities. It raises suspicions that they may be attempting to conceal the truth about what transpired. The tourism industry is a vital source of income for Egypt, and a scandal like this could deter potential visitors. It is not far-fetched to consider that the Egyptian authorities might be hiding facts to avoid negative publicity, leaving many details of this case obscured. Was it truly a suicide? Or did someone throw her out of the window to silence her? The accounts we have about what occurred in the hospital come solely from witness testimonies, which can be unreliable or manipulated. There are also theories suggesting that Magdalena's fiancé, Marcus, might have been involved in a sinister plot to sell her into the sex trade. Their relationship developed at an alarming pace, which raises eyebrows. However, this theory lacks credibility, as Marcus was unaware of the surprise trip Magda had planned for him. Additionally, some speculate that Mahmoud, the guide who accompanied her throughout her ordeal and took her to hospitals, may have been involved in her demise. But why would he take her to the hospital if he had ulterior motives? Mahmoud has a long-standing career in tourism with no complaints against him. If he were involved in something nefarious, he likely would have vanished to avoid drawing attention to himself. Ultimately, there are far too many unanswered questions surrounding this tragic story. The death of Magdalena Żuk remains a haunting mystery, captivating the minds of many. What do you think happened to her? Share your theories in the comments below and subscribe to our channel. Remember, evil can lurk in the most unexpected places.